Hello and welcome back to the MineTrek.net gaming server. This will be update 40 of the Enterprise E-build. In my last episode, I think I mentioned that I went ahead and mirrored Deck 6. Well, that was a foobar on my part. That was Deck 5 I mirrored. Deck 6 is the deck I'm currently working on. So, when I say I mirrored Deck 6 and Deck 6 is all mirrored, I meant really Deck 5. Whoops. Oh well, so many decks, easy to get turned around in. But yeah, deck 5 I went through and I finished up quite a bit of the work on it. I'm still working on quite a bit of areas on deck 6 here. I'm just got done adding in or mirroring this section over because it's pretty much done on that side of the ship. But yeah, I figured I better go ahead and do it because I did something and I ended up adding a little bit extra, so I figured, well, might as well go all the way forward with it and just be that much less I have to mirror later on. But let me show you here real quickly. Darn it. How can we get to it without getting lost? And getting lost seems to be the good thing I'm doing at these days. Yeah, I should be grading papers. Good thing I'm doing at these days. Yay. I guess we do have to go in here and go up. Alright. Okay, we'll look at this one first. Okay, I did go ahead and put the roofs in for these. There are 4 of them. Cargo bay thingamajiggies. Water creation, O2 generation. Well, it occurred to me that you cannot compress water, but you can compress hydrogen and you can compress oxygen. So, and since we have what we call the mad squirrel style tank, it uses a lot of other stuff in it, but I wanted to go ahead and go up a different tank to denote different types of chemical storage. So this is my O2, compressed O2, and this is my compressed hydrogen. And this is the electrolytic combiner or separator or whatever you want to call it. But basically it takes hydrogen and oxygen and it combines it together to create water. It takes the oxygen from this line and hydrogen from that line, it compresses it and creates water, which feeds it into the ship's systems. Also, if there's too much water in the ship's systems, it can work in reverse and it can separate out the hydrogen and oxygen into this. And since hydrogen can be burned, it can also be used as deuterium fuel. The hydrogen tank will probably, I'm still working on it, it's still a work in progress, but it can also fuel the deuterium reactor on the other side of the ship, or make heavy water anyways. See how I did this side of it? That's what I did on this side of it. Yep, still a work in progress. I'm always constantly working on stuff. Anyways, there's the hydrogen tank. And I'll make some more of these. This is just a prelim design, but I kind of like it. It serves a purpose. It looks completely different than anything else we've built in a while, so. But yeah, and if we zip back here, we might actually have to go forward. Nope, this is it. This is deck, oh no, yeah, we've seen this before. This is the waste reclamation system, so we have to go forward here. It should have been labeled. I guess I knocked the sign off by accident. This is auxiliary life support for decks 1 through 5. Damn it, I can't remember if this is deck 6 or deck 5. This is deck 5. Yeah, this is deck 5. So auxiliary life supports for decks 1 through 5 is this room right here. I just placed this system in about an hour ago. So auxiliary life support decks 1 through 5. Let's go ahead and... Yeah, my spelling sucks. I'm sorry. Let's go through here. Yep, you can see there's Imheller right above us. He's on deck 4 playing with the crew quarter, or the lounge up there. Actually, he's just been chilling out. He's freaking me out, man. He just sits there all day, every day. Yeah, I've been buzzing through deck 5 here. And sorry, I called it deck 6, but really it's deck 5. I'm a deck behind. I don't like that. But yeah, it's deck 6 is the deck below us. Although I have made quite a bit of progress on deck 6. Yep. So deck 5 is for the ballpark, except for crew quarters and little nooks and crannies here and there. You know, basically done, laid out, finished as far as prelim work goes. Now advanced work, no, it's not nowhere near being done yet. But for the basic work and basic mirroring, it is done. All the crew quarters, all the lounges, all the science labs, all the little teeny rooms and knickknacks and things like that have to be filled in. But a lot of the major systems are in, including phaser strips and shield nodes and all that other nifty phaser strips. There are no phaser strips on this deck, are there? Yeah, they're on the back. Yeah, they're on the back. But yeah, so I've been working on deck 6 here. And as I've been working on deck 6 here, I went ahead and repurposed or redesigned the... Since I redesigned it, I fleshed it out, if we can figure out where the heck it is. There it is. The hollow suite, using the design that Mad Squirrel had came up with. And it looks a lot more impressive when it's sealed up, like on the other side, but I don't want to fly over the other side. But yeah, it's a hollow suite. Okay. On deck 6 here, we have quite a bit that has to be done. Little rooms like the lift equipment's got to be put in on both sides. On deck 5 up here, I did go ahead and put in a roof for this section of the storage complex, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, they're a little different between the decks, but that just kind of helps people recognize, hey, they're different decks. You know, kind of breaks up the repetitiveness of ship design there. Nice little long corridor through here. I did put in the roofing for these two cargo bays as well, or half slabs. Now, this is labeled as shuttle bay, tractor beam, and guidance systems. I don't know if we need to have it on both sides, so I don't know yet what I'm going to do. I don't think we are going to need it on both sides, so if that's the case, we've got to repurp this room. And I already have an idea what to do with it, so I just want to double check before I do it, make sure I can actually fit what I want to do in there. These are offices. Batteries, excuse me. Batteries. No, actually, these should be labeled as offices, not batteries. Office. And this should also be an office. I don't know who labeled them as batteries, but that's incorrect. If anything, I could repurp this one room here and turn it into batteries. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this one here would be like right across here for batteries. And or set one of those, set that room over there for batteries, and set this one up for the tractor beam and guidance system. It's probably what I'll end up doing, because I don't know if that idea I have will fit in here completely or not. So yeah, I'll probably just set this room up to be batteries, and because that's what those signs back there say, and leave this one as labeled. But yeah, these two rooms back here are definitely offices. They are not for batteries. They are offices. My own little cove, playing Minecraft. What are you doing? Checking the trajectory of the telemetry of the port nacelle alignment with the subspace coil receiver. Oh, okay. Have a good day. Whew. Yeah, it's been kind of lonely on the server. I mean, when I say lonely, I mean lonely. I haven't seen anybody on the server other than Imheller up there hovering for at least 3 weeks now. Seriously. Some folks have popped in on IRC, but nobody on the server for 3 weeks. It's pretty spooky, man. I didn't say the least. It's downright nerving. Anyways, here on deck 6, I went ahead and started decking out this room in here. This is the auxiliary mess hall for this section, which is the auxiliary habitat of the port side, and there's an auxiliary habitat on the starboard side. But basically, this whole area here is you can serve as 1 or 2 functions or 3 functions. It could be auxiliary crew quarters, it could be colonists, or just extra rooms for guests to stay, or they can set it up as holding cells, or billets for troops and stuff. They've got 2 big sections on the ship to use now: auxiliary brig, ship crew, etc. This section can be used for refugee housing, auxiliary living quarters, or isolation quarters. So it's a self-contained habitat in both the port and starboard side of the ship. And nice thing about it is also it has its own built-in security area for security crews, or Makos, non-security ship related, but ground combat. Little office here. This is the little armory, secure weapon storage. And you got like a little office area there, and then we get into the barracks, or the barracks, the billets, little areas for them to crap out in. And then a little storage area and the additional little sleeping rooms. Get your bathrooms here, and then on this side, those are toilets. These are toilets, and then you get to like little hangers for clothing and stuff, and some more sinks, and then you get into the showers. I just stuck these up here, kind of because they look kind of cool and look like shower heads to me, like and they look a lot better for short spaces than that hanging lever, which we normally use. Which, in all intents and purposes, we keep getting jokes about this, and I'm sure Notch made this thing up to be,
the furballs of mirroring 101. The graphics guys are going to be a little busy.
Yeah. I have no idea where I'm at. None whatsoever. I've been standing here for hours. Somebody beam me up. Come on. Oh. Sorry. So I've been buzzing around for the last couple of hours, and to be honest with you, I'm just kind of getting burned out. I think I'm going to take a break for a bit and pick it up later on. I did go ahead and roof this section of the ship here that has been mirrored. Little auxiliary habitat area here. I'm actually on the port side of the ship right now, so the little areas like this have to be filled in and things like that, but that stuff can be done later. It's like with the science lab here. The reason there's a hole in the wall here is because I'm just too lazy to fill it. Yeah, just wanted to make sure that this was all filled in. This section of the ship also has shield generators back here someplace. And what I'll do is I'll set them up on one side and I'll just mirror it to the other side. I already have the shield generator and all the components. I just have to drop them in here. They're actually down below us on the ground out there. So since it's just a single shield generator, I probably will put an IDF SID generator in here because I think both units will fit, just to have it as a backup. Life support for this deck is in, as well as for decks 1 through 5. All the way down, actually. I think all the way down to the bottom of the ship, all the life support systems are actually in, so I don't have to worry about those anymore. And this deck has quite a bit of crew quarters. I mean, we can fly underneath of it and take a good look at it. And what's this section here? Atmospheric processor, force field generator for lower bays. Okay, so this is all related to hangar base stuff. And atmospheric processor, force field generators for lower bay. Okay, yeah. So this will just be additional life support and pressurization equipment for the hangar bay, which I believe is a deck or two below us. So, got to put those systems in. These coves are all in, along with the Jeffries tubes. Nice little shortcut here. Actually, does that have to be? I think it has to be that. Make sure the size is the same way. It is. Cool. And then, of course, put in the systems back here, which we were just looking at. Like, to you guys, it was only a couple of seconds or a minute ago, but for me, it was like, 8 hours ago. Yeah, put those in. Again, one side will be batteries, the other side will be tractor beam and guidance control equipment. I went through and I combined a couple of the crew quarters that were separated. They were just a little small along the saucer's edge up here, and I don't know if it's on the deck above us or if it was actually on this deck, but I went ahead, I think it's this deck actually, the deck we're working on, deck 6 here. I went ahead and increased their size in areas where I could to make them larger. And the same thing with some of the interior crew quarters. I just went ahead and knocked out the wall that divided them. Now rooms like this, because they're long, they don't need to be combined in my opinion. But again, if M. Heller wanted to, or whoever sets up these crew quarters, they can knock out this center wall here and really have a huge living space. I didn't want to do that for a lot of these rooms because I figured since they were long, they really didn't need it. But in rooms like let me get to it here. See, these are all pretty long as it is, so they're I figured they're okay. But this one was kind of shorter, and it lent itself better to having, because it was only 4 and then 4. So I figured, well, if we break it apart, it'll get that nice open area. And same thing with this one here. So that's what I did there for these rooms. And again, it really depends on what M wants to do. He could break out this wall here and set it up, but these are pretty wide. I mean, they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide, and they're pretty long. So I don't see a reason why anyone would need a larger room than that. But then again, hey, it's Starfleet. Who knows? It's kind of neat when you look at it like this. You can actually start seeing the ship come together, and it's kind of neat. If you get on the server and want to come through, the decks above us 1 through 5 are pretty much done, and they should be fairly well lit. There might be some areas that aren't real well lit, but again, as I talked earlier in this video, Gamma Bright is a great mod. It's easy to install once you install Forge and Forge Light Loader, and there are a lot of videos out on YouTube that can walk you through the process. But yeah, I recommend you do that. It makes viewing the ship a lot easier. In fact, it makes viewing all the ships a lot easier, because although this is the first ship we've designed that actually does not have floor lighting, and we actually have to use hidden torches so people can see, eventually those torches will probably be removed. So you'll definitely want to get the Gamma Bright. As you can see, it gets pretty dang dark in here. So that being said, stick around a little bit. I'll probably have some more stuff for you as I continue working on this deck. I don't know, really. This video will probably be a couple of days in the process. Kind of like what I did when I mirrored deck 5, which I kept calling deck 6. Again, I apologize for that. But yeah. Oh well. See you in the next segment, folks. I'm down here on the hangar deck, or cargo deck, and I noticed that this EVA locker hasn't been filled out yet. So just a note, if I don't get to it, somebody hopefully will get to it. So anywho. So I'm working on deck 6 here, and I went ahead and combined these two crew quarters together before they were separated by a wall, and it was kind of narrow through here, so I figured, well, given the stylistic nature of the ship, better off to have a shared crew quarter with a shared bathroom, So basically this whole area is a living space, and then each crew member has his own private little, and they share a restroom. I went through and I did this entire section, both port and starboard sides of deck 6. Also here on deck 6, I need to go forward or aft. I believe I have to go forward here. There it is. I added in the shield generator and a little SIF, SID system, structural integrity, SIF, structural integrity field, inertial dampening field, IDF. I always get those mixed up. Anyways, they're all powered in along with a shield generator. So I went ahead and designed a smaller shield generator for the use in here. The one that I was going to use was just a tad bit too big, and I like how these two kind of integrated together. So I figured, what the hell, I'll just go ahead and use this design for the smaller ones. But yeah, it's downstairs along with all the other shield stuff, so keeping everything going. Going through now, and I'm placing in the individual walls for the forward section here of deck 6 crew quarters. These crew quarters will be filled in later when the decks are separated out. In the meantime, it allows us to process the deck a lot faster. Well, not faster anyways, but process the deck, get it done, get it mirrored. If we have to, we can also local mirror each one of these crew quarters to the other side, depending on if that is something we want to do, or if M wants to, he can just easily, because all we do is we grab out this section, then we'd remove all the extra blocks that we don't need, like, stuff that affect crew quarter, or not crew quarters, but like the stuff from in here and stuff, and then just mirror it all over. So, kind of like what I did with the hangar, but a little bit easier, a little bit more simplified, because crew quarters are all on one level. It doesn't affect multiple levels, so makes it a little bit easier, but it's kind of dull, kind of tedious. One of those slow job things. just want to know. Somebody please tell me. How many force field systems does the Voyager hangar really, honest to God, need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But yeah, 6 force field generators for this little itty bitty hangar. Been in here working on deck 6, and I got the let's get over here. Atmospheric process force field for lower bays. All that stuff's in, as well as shuttle bay force field generator atmo. I counted a total of 8 force field generators in just that little hangar area for the Voyager. Yeah, 8 of them. I think somebody went a little labeling crazy with force field generators. Anyways, this is the actual unit that pressurizes and depressurizes the hangar. There's another one on the starboard side as well, and it's fed through here to this thing, which has all this stuff tied into it. And the shield generator is part of this, as well as part of that over there, and all that stuff. This room will probably get fleshed out and modified a little bit more as we go, but if we do, we gotta mirror it to the other side, so we have to be very careful about what we're doing. Let's go ahead and fix this real quick. I think it means I gotta go around over here. Erg. Darn it. You make it hard on me. I don't like it making hard on me. You know. Alright, now I gotta go do the same thing to the other side, but I'll do that off recording. Yep, it's in. I'll show you what the bay looks like now with it in. You can see both the units are in. I also went through and added black highlights to the framing and stuff. It kind of break up this pumpkin lighting a little bit. I'd like to do something with the pumpkin lighting, but I don't want to mess around with any of the stuff that's been done in here. As far as, I just added highlights. I didn't do anything else. I don't want to change it too much because I don't know. Also went through here and broke this up a little bit so it doesn't look so bright and so gawky in here with all the pumpkin lighting. Kind of broke it up, make it a little bit better. That's pretty much it as far as this stuff. That was, believe it or not, that was 4 hours worth of work right there. Yeah, unbelievable. Well, it's been a bit, but now deck 6, I almost said 7, deck 6 is now mirrored. Yeah, I have no life. This is how I spent my Memorial Weekend Sunday. Yep, it's pathetic, I know. At least I got a hamburger out of the deal. And a hot dog. And some chips. But a tater salad. Tater salad. Yeah, deck 6 is finally mirrored. It didn't take that long. It was just finishing up some stuff. The hardest part was I kept doing it off of this and kept going up too high and having to undo it, go up too high and having to undo it. It's like, huh? But then I figured it out. Yeah. I did have to change a little bit of the design a little bit. Yeah. The organic waste deassembler. One of the corridors went all the way to the turbo lift, but in order to fit the systems in, I had to shorten the corridor so that I could fit all of this stuff in that needed to be fitted in. And it's all plumbed in through the wall thing here into that system, which feeds back into the system back behind it. Didn't do any of the roof stuff. Figured, what the hell, save that for something else, somebody else, not me. But yeah, it feeds into this system, which feeds into all the organic, inorganic slurry tanks, what they call them, whatever. Quarters need to be filled out. Heads need to be put in. There are a couple of lounges, a couple of supply lockers, but this is all small stuff that can be done when the ship is separated out into deck layers, if that is to be done. If not, whoops! Zip down through here. I think that hot dog is giving me some blowback. Comes all the way around here. Actually, this is the port side, or starboard side. We want to go to the port side. And you can see the rail system here. It's around. Okay. make sure that this one doesn't have that as well. I don't know why somebody would do that to me, but it says fixed. But, yep, shoots on down that way. Woo, good background, yeah. Anyways, one's an inbound, one's an outbound. We'll take the whatever one this will end up being. Zip down through here. And go around this thingamajiggy. And straight on down. So yeah, it's all aligned, as you can see. Or else we would have had a problem. We went down that turbo lift, which we didn't, so everything's kosher. And here's the deck plan for deck 6. Anyways, I do appreciate taking the time to watch. Again, this is the MineTrek.net game server. If you'd hit that like button for me, I'd greatly appreciate it. If you'd like to visit us on Facebook and like us there, that would also be appreciated. Also, if you feel up to it, please feel free to donate to the server. Helps keep the server up and running. And good news is we are now 1.8.5 compliant. Hiller put a lot of time into that, so that's a big bonus. We're moving forward. Anyways, have a great day. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.